Hey guys, this is Daniel from UltimatePROformance, and we are bringing to you a basic beginner machine workout routine. So this routine is great to get you started in the gym. It is not going to be your end workout routine. You need to continue to progress, but it is a great way to start. It is a full body. You are going to burn a lot of calories, and it's going to get you in the habit of coming in and feeling your body move and exercise and get those endorphins released, burning some calories, helping you towards your goals, but continue to progress. So once you feel like you've plateaued out of this, move on. That's okay. This is, again, the basic beginner machine routine. Make sure that you are sticking to the rep counts of 12 to 15 on your reps. Make sure you're challenging yourself for those 12 to 15 reps. Make sure the sets, 2 to 3 sets per exercise. Meaning you're going to do the first exercise, 12 to 15 reps, challenge yourself, rest 30 to 60 seconds. Make sure your heart rate's coming up while you're exercising, coming back down while you're resting, and then we get back into it. We do another set, 12 to 15 reps. 2 to 3 sets, we'll move on to the next exercise. All right, let's get started. The first exercise we're going to do is the leg press machine here. Now, you are in a hack squat position, which means you're going to be lying back and the pressure is going to be coming down on the shoulders. This allows the spine to strengthen as we work the entire lower body. It's going to burn a lot of calories because we're using a lot of muscle groups on this. As we move on in the routine, we're going to start isolating things a little bit more, but this is going to be the one where you're going to get a lot more calories burned than all the other ones. So this one's real important. Put a lot of energy and effort into it, even though it's the first one up. Make sure that you're pushing yourself on this one and then continue on to the next ones. So the first thing we want to do is adjust the height here. Okay? You want to make sure, by pulling the pin over on this side, you want to make sure that you're bringing it low enough to where when you go down and put your feet here, and we're going to lay back, to make sure that your hips are slightly below your knees of a 90 degree, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. If we're too high, you're not going to be able to squat all the way down low enough and deep enough. So we're going to make sure we put it about 1 notch too low. That way you can keep constant tension on the weight stack. We're never hitting here. Okay, so this is a good spot for me. I'm going to go ahead and get in position. We want to make sure that the pin's fully set in place there. We're going to place the feet high. There's a lot of plate here, but we don't want to go really low. Okay, make sure the feet go high, and we're going to drive through the heels. If you start getting the heels off, then you're doing it wrong. Okay, now like what I told you before, at the bottom of the squat, we want a 90 degree here. As you can see, I'm a little bit tighter than a 90, but that's good because once I get the weight off, I can keep it off the stack here and keep constant tension. So the first thing I'm going to do, get in position here, grab onto the handles, start to exhale as I go up, okay? Now once I'm up, I can adjust my feet just a little bit better so it's a little more comfortable for me. I'm going to inhale as I come down, stop at 90 degrees, drive through the heels as I come back up, okay? My feet might be just a little bit too low right now because when I got to the bottom, my knees kind of shot out. Actually, that looks pretty good. If I go too low, it'll look more like this, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on the knee. See how it starts to shoot that way? We got a lot of pressure going on right here, so don't go too low. Make sure your feet are in a good spot, and we're pushing through the heels, not the toes. Okay, so holding on here, we're going to drop, 90, exhale. When we're done, we set it down nice and slow. You can roll off the side, and we'll move on to the next exercise. Okay, so the next exercise that we're going to do is the lat pull-down machine here. This machine is going to be great to work the back muscles. So you have 2 different grips here. We can either go wide here or close here. They're both going to work the lats. You're going to get some arm work in there, but it's a lot of back. Okay, we're going to go with the close grip because it's a little bit easier to pull and do it properly. The first thing you want to do is make sure that the rest here, you're able to slide your knees underneath and get your feet flat to the floor. Some people like to be able to come up on their toes a little bit when they go to pull down, so that's fine too. But just make sure that you're securely fastened in, that way the weight doesn't pull you out of the seat. All right, so we're going to start here. I'm going to grab on the close grip handles here. we're going to go ahead and sit down, slide your feet underneath the pad. Once we're in this position, you want to make sure that your lower back is nice and flat here, and we got a big chest coming up here. What you're going to do, a full extension with the arms. As we pull down, we're going to exhale, breathe out, pull all the way down to your body, and then inhale as we come back up, full extension. Okay, we want to make sure that the movement is nice and controlled, and you don't want to get your whole body in there. If you're doing that, you probably have too much weight on it. Okay, so make sure it's nice and controlled, nice and smooth. Come down. Make sure when you come down, you're squeezing through your back muscles here, and then we full extension up. Now when you're done, make sure you fully extend the arms, and then come up with the rest of the weight. That way it doesn't slingshot you out of the seat. That's it for the lat pull down. Let's move on to the next exercise. Okay guys, so now we're on to the leg curl, which is going to work the hamstrings, which is the back side of the leg. This is just as important. We use the hamstrings in everything we do. We use them in the squats. We used them in the leg press earlier, but this is just another way to isolate the hamstring muscles to make them stronger. So the first thing we want to do is position everything, and there's a lot of adjustments on this one, so it can get confusing as to where to put things, how you should be seated if you're even doing it properly. So I'm going to go over all of them with you, that way you fully understand how to get in this thing properly. So the first thing we want to do is we want to find this black dot right here. Okay, this is our pivot point. Okay, there's a rod that connects this whole machine together that runs right in here. Okay, that's where we want our knee to be, because that's what's going to be pivoting as we curl in. Okay, so if we don't want to put unnecessary stress on the knee joint and create more issues, we want to make sure that our knee is in line with this position. So the first thing we need to do is adjust the back plate to make sure we're in the right position lengthwise away from this. Okay, so you're going to come here, pull the pin, and adjust forward if you need to. If you're shorter, if you're taller, bring it back. Okay, it's going to give you a little bit more room. All right, so mine's about a 4. Once I come here, go ahead and sit, put your feet up. Make sure we're in a good spot, which my knee is now lined up with the pivot point here. So I know I'm in a good spot here, but what about that? Okay, the best thing to do with this, and I've already put it in position for myself, but you want to make sure this black pad is right above the top of the back of your shoe. Okay, if the pad is riding up, it's going to make this exercise a lot more difficult, okay, and not in a good way. So we want to make sure that you got a good leverage point. So make sure that pad is out there at the proper length. If you need to adjust it, come here, kind of hold this end of it up just to take some of the pressure off, and then you can twist it open. We can slide it back and forth, and then when we're ready to tighten it, just screw it back down. Okay, so we're good to go there. So now we're going to slide back in, put it back up, like I said, top of the shoe. The only one that's left to be done now is this one here, which we want to make sure that we bring all the way down to make sure it straightens out our legs. Once we're in this position, grab on for leverage and curl in and exhale out. Okay, as we come up, inhale, stop right before you hit, curl back down. Slow and controlled. You don't need to jerk it. If you're jerking it, you're probably going too heavy. So now we're at the chest press machine. This machine here is going to work more your pushing muscles, which are in the front of your body, here through the chest. We're also going to work on the triceps, as well as the anterior delts here. There's multiple positions that need to be set up in order to get this in the right position, so I'm going to go over that with you now. As far as the seat here, what you're going to do is there's a little lever down here at the bottom. You push it in. We can then raise up the seat or lower it down. Okay, once you got it in the desired position, go ahead and set it. This is key to make sure that when we go to do a chest press here, that one of these two bars, it doesn't matter which one, but one of them, when we're laying back, is coming right across the center of our chest here. If they're not, then we need to take the seat either higher or lower to make sure that happens. The other position we want to make sure is in the right spot is the bench back seat here. On the back, it'll tell you if you're what exercise you're doing, whether it's an incline press, a regular bench press, a decline press, or even a shoulder press with this machine. It's very versatile. You can do a lot of different exercises with it. We're just going to go over the bench. So we want to make sure that it's in the bench position, which it's clicked in now. And then we're going to adjust the weight. Pull the weight, put it on the desired weight, and then we're good to go. So we're going to come back here. Again, right across the center of the chest here. Go ahead and line your hands up. As we push out, that's where we're going to want to exhale. So forcefully exhale out on the hardest part of the exercise, which is going to be going out. Inhale as we come back in. So go ahead and put your head back in line with the rest of your body. And exhale as we go out. Inhale as we come back in. When you come back in, try not to let the weight stack hit. You want to make sure you've got constant tension on the chest press here, so we're always going to keep it off of the other weights. And see, I hit it too, so we mess it up sometimes. The other thing that's important about this exercise is understanding shoulder placement as we do it. Don't get in the habit of pressing and rounding forward as we press. Okay, you see a lot of people doing that. Once we get in that position, we're doing a lot on the shoulders, and we're not really going to work the chest as much. It's really key to set the shoulders back and press this way without rounding forward. Okay, so the proper form again will be here and press. Okay, it's not how high you can go. We don't want to round it forward. All right, when you're done, come back down, set it down. We're good to go. We'll move on to the next exercise. So now we're at the back extension machine. This machine is great because it's also going to work the core. Now most people, when they think of the core, they're only thinking about the abs here, maybe a little bit in the obliques, but most people neglect the lower back here, which is very, very important. Okay, combining all the muscles through the core, including the hips, is going to be what stabilizes your spine and keeps your back protected on every other exercise. So we want to make sure that we're strong in these areas as well. We have multiple adjustment points again on this one, so we want to make sure you're in the right spot as we do it. The first position we want to line up is the foot position. Now, you have a pivot point. It's called a pivot point here, where the machine, right here at this spot, okay, and you'll see the connection here. This spot is the pivot point. You want to make sure that you are pivoting here at the hips as we do this move. Okay, so we're in this position, we want to make sure our hips line up here. So based upon that, we adjust the foot placement to the proper height. So for me, I'm a little bit taller. I'm going to bring it down to maybe a 6. Hopefully that'll be a good spot for me. Place your feet flat on the foot pedal here. Once we're in flat on the foot pedal here, slide your hips under, straighten out your legs. Okay, now that we're here, we're going to cross the arms and extend back. We're going to go all the way back. Make sure you get a full contraction. Okay, it'll stop you, you're not going to fall backwards. Once we're here, come back forward, stay firmly planted to the seat. We're going to watch the weight stack, make sure it doesn't touch so we have constant contraction on there. And back again. Again, the hardest part of this exercise, that's when we want to exhale. So as we're contracting backwards, blow out. Inhale as we come back in. Okay, as you're doing this move, you want to make sure that you're feeling it through your lower back, you're going to feel it in your glutes, a little bit in your hamstrings. All these muscles work together to create hip extension. All right, let's move on to the next exercise. So now we're at the ab machine. Now, everybody loves doing crunches because they think it's going to give them the six-pack. Remember, it's great to strengthen the ab muscles, but if you want to see them, it's going to be nutrition, and more nutrition. Okay? But besides the nutrition aspect, it's still important to exercise them, and this is the machine to do it. All right? We have basically one position that we need to adjust on this machine in order to be in the right spot, and that is the seat here. Okay, now based on how tall you are, I'm a taller guy, so I want to make sure mine's really low. If you're shorter, obviously bring it up. But what we want to do is sit all the way down. Make sure that your elbows are going to be raised up. The higher we can raise up the elbows, the more the abdominals are going to stretch open, which is going to allow us to contract them even more. Okay, so it's going to make the exercise even more effective. But make sure that the armpit can slide right up to the pad. That way we have a good base point in which to work from. All right, so we're going to go ahead and come down. Adjust the hands. Kind of get into the starting position. You can see I have tension already going there. You can hold your hands here or hold them here. But the main focus as we do this is trunk flexion. If I'm just taking my arms like this, I'm not doing anything other than maybe working my arms. Okay, we want to make sure the arms stay in kind of a fixed position and we crunch forward. Exhale as you go down and inhale as you come up. Okay, as you're doing it, if you're doing it properly, you will feel it in the abs just like when you're doing a crunch on your back. This just allows you to do it differently. Maybe not pull on the head like most people do on the crunches on the floor. All right, let's move on. So now we're at the end of the workout and it's time to stretch. Stretching is really important as to finishing off your workout. It can help you with quicker recovery, quicker lean muscle mass gains. So we want to make sure that we're fully stretched out. We just spent an entire workout tightening everything up. You're tight already. Okay, so now it's time to stretch. So let's put a lot of emphasis on the stretching. This is a great device made by Precor for stretching purposes, and it's easy to use. Many stretches on here, just on this plate alone. When you come to sit down on it, there's 8 different stretches that you can do. Very simple, and I'm going to show you the basic way on how it works. Okay, so first thing you want to do, grab onto the handles, don't let go. Put your feet, there's little bicycle pedals in the back. Put your feet on those. We're going to bring the knees down on the pad. Once we're in position here, go ahead and push back. Now this is a very basic back stretch. Okay, but you're going to slide back, continue to hold on, and just try to relax into the stretch. When we're in this position, there's no need to pulse with the stretch. Just try to take it to slight discomfort, not painful, and hold for 30 to 60 seconds. Once we've reached that point, you can follow the other steps on here. We can turn the hands up this way, stretch more upper back. We can also cross the hands, work on the shoulders. You can also cross the leg, work on the glutes and the hips. You can work on your adductors by bringing the feet together and going back. We can also stand up. We place this all the way back. Put the foot up and lean back and get a nice good quad stretch here. Okay, so this is a very versatile piece of equipment, but make sure you utilize it at the end of your workout. So there you have it, beginner routine. It is all machines. It is a great way to get started. It is not the end goal though as far as your fitness training. Make sure that you learn the pieces, you get used to them, get used to how your muscles contract and how it feels to work out, getting your heart rate up, sticking to a plan, and then use it as momentum to progress into something more challenging that's going to challenge your body more. If you want to see the changes, you need to continue to progress and challenge yourself even more. Bring in some instability, bring in more core control, muscle control. If you are looking for ways and help to customize your routine, your nutrition, subscribe to our newsletters by sending us an email telling us you want to be signed up for those, or just send us in some questions. If you have those, send it to the email address listed below. Thanks again, and good luck in starting this journey.